Hello, my name is Jason Hamaker. I am the owner and operator of Lost Origin Productions and Lost Origins Gallery, which is where we are tonight. I am very excited to host this event. I'm also a part of the Focus on the Story Festival, and I'm very excited to be a part of doing something with Glen Echo Photoworks. I am going to turn this mic over to Regie, which is our host. Lost Origins has been around for about 4 years. I've been closed, and I'm going to reopen next Sunday, 12 to 3, with a fine art photographer named Kate McDonald. Come hang out, come get wild.
All right, welcome. We are live. My name is Regie Cabicio. I am your MC for this phenomenal photo slam, coming to you live from the very, very sultry Mount Pleasant in the phenomenal gallery of Lost Origins. Behind me are incredible black and white photos representing new wave punk rock from 79 to 83 by Ricky Urcola. Shouted out to the phenomenal team of Focus on the Story. I just saw the incredible photos that were just up the block on the alley. To see people live and not in boxes, seeing DC come to life has just been so inspiring. If you don't know what the Photo Slam is, I want to give a shout out to Photoworks because, and to John Borstel, because they produced this incredible event over a decade ago. So what you're going to see is a photography competition that has about photographers of all styles and backgrounds that are presenting 5 photos to be crowned Photography Slam champion. We are doing this virtually. I am waving to my virtual world, and I am into the inside world right here. Before I introduce our incredible, illustrious judges, I do want to say that tonight, there's going to be 3 photographers that will hold an exhibit of their winning images in the Photoworks gallery. There will also be an audience vote, and that there'll be more on that later. I wouldn't be here without the phenomenal work of Sophie McDowell, so snap it up for Sophie McDowell. Also to Emily White, and shout out to Emily over at Photoworks. So for those of you who are in the Zoom room right now, we want you to use the chat box. When you see an image, you could say something like snaps, or ooh, or ah, or go in, photographer. Throw out some positivities into the chat.
Reggie, can we, I guess we're getting in the chat box, they're saying there's no sound right now.
Oh.
Yeah, wait a second. Do we have it?
We have.
Okay, Chris Mills can hear us down the street. My name is Jason Hamaker. I run Lost Origins. I've been closed since COVID. I'm very excited to be hosting this event with this crew. I'm with Focus on the Story. What was that? We are doing live production on the fly, so get some of this. This is going to be part of the Glen Echo Photoworks. If you want, we can come rage with me outside because you can now hear me live. So what we're going to do, I'm going to reopen this gallery next Sunday, 3 to 6, with a photographer named Kate McDonald. I'm going to now pass this to my man Regie, and we are going to rage take 2.
All right, can we please snap it up for the incredible gallery owner of Lost Origins, Take 2, Jason Hamaker. I am coming to you live from Mount Pleasant. Behind me are the incredible photographs of new wave punk rock in black and white by Ricky Urcola, photographing that incredible time period of 79 to 83. But right now, I want you to snap it up for those of you who are in the virtual world. And so this is our annual Photoworks Photo Slam. We are returning. Pandemic be damned. You can't stop the art and the photography. Big shout out to Photoworks at Glen Echo Park, a photography community that offers digital and dark room classes, workshops, and gallery events. This Photo Slam, I have to give a shout out to John Borsell, who over a decade ago, we conceived of taking the elements of a poetry slam performance, poetry competition, and adapting it to photography. So what you're going to see tonight are 53 photographers all over the DC, Maryland, and Virginia region, and also beyond, putting their hearts out, sharing their lens and their passion of photography to you. These photographers selected 5 images, and you're going to see these images. Those 5 images are what might send them into the final round, where we're going to see the top 12 of those 53 photographers. We have illustrious judges in this gallery right now, but before I introduce them to you, I do want to snap it up for the incredible crew that is right here, from Focus on the Story to Chantel, Filipino Powers Activate, to Susie, and to Tom, as we make this happen. This is not virtual teaching. This is more than virtual teaching, let me tell you. That said, I also want to know that you, the audience in the Zoom room, have a voice. And in addition to the selection of the top 3 photographers, those top 3 that score high tonight, they will have an exhibit of their winning images in the Photoworks Gallery in the upcoming season. You, the audience, have a vote. There is more on that later. But again, I want to give a shout out to Sophie McDowell, who really did an incredible job galvanizing all of the submissions and connecting all of us together here. A shout out to Sarah Gordon, who's on the Photoworks Advisory Council and an amazing power source, incredible entity over at the DC Commission for the Arts and Humanities. Hi, Sarah. Hi, John. Shout out to Emily Whiting and Karen Keating. It is so great to be working with you this year. That said, I think we want to know more about our judges who are in the room. We have our 3 judges. We have Sofia Sebastian. We have Shedrick Pelt. And we have Joe Newman. Let me introduce you to, I think I'm going to go in reverse order. I'm going to introduce Joe. Joe is a writer, editor, photographer, and media strategist who spent the past 14 years working in nonprofit advocacy in DC. In 2018, he founded Focus on the Story, a nonprofit organization that supports impactful visual storytelling, and each year hosts the Focus on the Story International Photo Festival. Congratulations on this afternoon. The photos on the alley totally rocked it out. I have a question for you. What's the most surprising thing on the schedule for this year?
The most surprising thing, well, there's a lot of great stuff on our schedule this year, and I think that all of them, this is going to be surprising if we get through this without any flubs or blunders. And ask me after the show.
All right. Let me ask you this. What is your qualification, a personal trait that makes you a great photography judge? Personal trait.
It's just my passion, right? Photography is my passion. I've lived it. I'm a photographer myself, and over the last 4 years, just being surrounded by such great photographers like the ones I have on this panel have given me appreciation of different styles, of different genres. and really made me appreciate visual storytelling. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Next up, can we please snap it up for judge number 2, Shedrick Pelt, everyone. Shedrick Pelt has 2 photo books, 2009 and Beyonds, that came out in 2018, featuring a decade of work with up-and-coming musicians, as well as Keep Us Safe, that came out last year in 2020, that documents civic actions in and around D.C. Also, he's been featured in exhibitions at ICP New York City, Center for Photography, and I'm so excited, he's got a photo in Inside, Outside, Upside Down at the Phillips Collection, forthcoming July 17th through September 12th at the Phillips Collection. And I know that you can go there in person to check it out. Welcome, Shedrick.
Thank you for having me.
A question for you is, what musician or group would you most want to collaborate with to produce a music video?
Oh, wow. I would say I would probably want to go classic, like Wu-Tang Clan, you know? Somebody with some grit and like some flavor and like, you know, some legendary. Like if you want to go big, you want to go big. So somebody like the Wu, for sure.
All right, let's send it out there into the universe.
Put the vibes out there for me.
Yeah, we are rooting for you. All right, and Shedrick Pelt, what makes you a great photography judge, a personal trait of yours?
You know, I think I've been able to meet a lot of artists and absorb a lot of perspectives. So seeing different art and different images gives me an opportunity to like give better insight.
All right, excellent. Terrific. Our third judge, can we please snap it up for Sofia Sebastian? Yeah, Sofia Sebastian was born in Madrid, but she currently lives in Washington, D.C. She was first introduced to photography while watching classic movies as a teenager. Starting in 2011, she began to focus in photography, taking courses at the International Center for Photography in New York City. But it's only recently that she discovered her passion for street and documentary photography. Sofia Sebastian received the first Female in Focus Award from 1854 Media in 2019 and has been a finalist in various street photography festivals. Welcome, Sofia. My question for you is, which classic movie has most influenced your photographic style?
Wow. Well, that's a tough question. I don't know if there is like one movie in particular, but I kind of remember, you know, like the old black and white classics, Hitchcock, Citizen Kane. There are so many of them. I don't know if my pictures look like those movies, but I, you know, they had like a big impact in me, and to this day I remember them. So somewhere in my brain, you know, when I'm taking pictures, they're definitely a reference.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Sofia, what is a personal trait that you have that makes you a great judge for photography?
Well, the one thing that makes me a good judge is that I really love looking at photos. I can spend hours and hours and hours looking at pictures, and every time that I do so, I always like to, you know, to see what works, what doesn't work. Constantly like reading and analyzing pictures. And I've been doing this for a while, so I think that I'm going to bring a lot of experience.
Excellent. Thank you. Let's snap it up for our amazing judges who had a hard job looking at 53 sets of photographs. At this point, it's about to happen. What you're going to see are 4 bouts of about 12 or 13 photographs. you're going to see them once. I know that there are photographers whose hearts are beating because some of these photographers maybe have never had their work exhibited in this particular way. So this is a shout out to all of the virgin photographers out there, as well as some of the pros who are there. So after this set, we are going to turn it to the judges to comment. We're also going to turn it over to Sarah and John, who's also going to comment and maybe share some of the observations that I have missed in the Zoom room. And again, as you see these photographs, please show your love and positivity for the images that you see out there. So, as you know, the judges are looking at a criteria, looking at technical as well as artistic merits. In the slam, we go performance and writing. Each judge scored each photo anywhere from 0 to 10, 10 being sublime, and 0 being for an image that should never have been taken. So I don't even know what that looks like. But in the Olympic style, we are not going to post or announce those scores at the very end. We will announce after all bouts have been played what 12 photographers which photographers will move forward. So I'm going to give a list of who our photographers are in the first bout. So in bout 1, these are the photographers, and if I mispronounce your name, my sincerest apologies. So in this order, I believe, in bout 1, we have Felix Alvarado, Joseph Barretto, Gina Bjornlund, Gana Browning, John Chadwick, James Corbett, Bryan Dozier, Gaetana Ebbole, Robin Fader, Charlie Fox-Whelpton, Cindy Frank, David Frey, and Willa Friedman. So without any further ado, we are going to show you those images. So take notes and good luck, photographers. All right, that was about one. Can we please snap it up for all of those amazing photographers in about one? I feel like I was in a Kate Winslet movie. Seriously, that music and these images, so moving. I was just going to cry because I'm Filipino and that's what we do, is we must cry. But my golly, that is incredible. And this is just one of three more bouts. I'm going to turn it over to our judges to quickly share some of their immediate reactions, even to looking at these photos again. And we're also maybe going to hear from Sarah and John to see if there was anything that people had said in the Zoom chat. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our judges. Oh my gosh, I am like so emotional right now. Any thoughts? I mean, that was a lot, and
I definitely think it was a strong out of the gate. I mean, this is what we're in for tonight, and I think it's going to be a good night for photography.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that we saw a little bit of everything. Like we saw street photography, demonstrations, landscape, flowers. Like we're seeing like a lot of variety. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I think the width and breadth of what we just saw was pretty impressive, because there was some, landscapes. There were some really great street photography. And I'm with you, Regie. I'm also Filipino, so I'm gonna cry a little bit too. No, it's good.
Well, right now, I'm going to turn it over to John and Sarah. Any thoughts from you, as well as any particular comments that we heard some of the, or maybe there are maybe questions out there. So let me turn it over to John or Sarah.
Just picking up on some of the comments that were coming up on the chat. A real appreciation for Joseph Barretto. Love the light, beautiful black and white. We really did have some strong use of black and white in his images.
Strong black and white, really appreciation.
Yep. John Chadwick, refreshing. The comment, I want to be there now. James Chadwick, Baltimore iconic images, how vibrant, cool perspectives. Appreciation for Bryan Dozier's capture of Washington, D.C., including the comment, better than what you see in the postcards. Gaetana Ebbole, the watery blooms got some nice comments. Robin Fader captured some recent demonstrations very powerfully, and incredible work from Charlie Fox-Whelpton. Nice comment about David Frey's work. Flowers have eternal internal life. And
Flowers have eternal internal life.
Yep. And I saw some beautiful work from the divine Willa Friedman with some great and humorous juxtapositions.
Right. Great humorous structure and juxtaposition from Willa Friedman. Thank you so much, John. Sarah, any impressions or thoughts?
You summed up what was happening in the chat perfectly. This was the beginning of the alphabet's nailing it. So let's see what the middle and the end of the alphabet are going to bring.
All right, nailing it. See what the beginning and the alphabet are like. All right. So we are going to move on. Oh, how about this? A little bit of a. Actually, you know what? We do have an incredible poet from Washington, D.C., Gary Kay, who is in the Zoom room, who's going to perform a short poem for you. How about that? Gary, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a phenomenal poet, Sri Lankan poet, who, when I moved to D.C., really set the tone for poetry. You might have seen her in Bloom Bars. She has been featured at Kundiman, which is the Asian American literary organization. She's been on the editorial of several prestigious journals, including Beltway Poetry Quarterly, as well as an incredible colleague. So could we please turn it over to the poetic stylings of the one and only Gary Kay.
Thank you so much, Regie. Thank you everyone for letting me participate in your event tonight. That was amazing, just getting to look at those initial photographs. And I think it's really a phenomenal event that you have here. I brought two short poems to share with you. The first one is a found poem, meaning that I've borrowed most of the text from somewhere else in the world. It is also a poem that began with a photograph, because I was at a museum looking at an exhibit, and I was really captivated by some of the text on the wall describing some elements of the exhibit. So it started with this, me taking a photo, kind of taking that text home with me to think about. And the other thing I would say about this piece is it's a reframing of sorts. All I've done here is taken a paragraph that I saw in an exhibit at a science museum that was an exhibit on sedimentary rocks. And all I did was substitute the term people of the global majority in places where the term sedimentary rocks were used. People of the global majority is just a reframing, another way that we may refer to people of color or racialized minorities. So this poem is called Sedimentary Rocks. People of the global majority are extremely varied, differing widely in texture, color, and composition. In total, these people cover about 3/4 of the Earth's surface. Nearly all are made of materials that have been moved from a place of origin to a new place of deposition. The distance moved may be a few feet or thousands of miles. Most people of the global majority form in layers or strata. Many contain fossils. Thank you. And I have one other short poem that I wanted to bring to you tonight in the spirit of focus on the story and storytelling through our art. This poem is entitled Narrative or NX-erative. I use an X in place of the first A. I am not enough human to occupy this space. I am not tidal wave or ambition. Nothing was supposed to be done by now, but survival and instinct, and how many ways we ache to bend. You can touch a live wire if you're flexible about future outcomes, or tame yourself for optimal safety. I will be helio helipad. I am here and not here. This time, I mean it. This time, can we just tell one more story? Thank you, photographers and judges and Regie, for having me.
So much, Gary K, everybody. That was Gary K. Snap it up for the spoken word. All right. Judges, we are going to go now. We're going to...
Go ahead.
We're going to do bout 2. And I'm going to announce who the photographers are that will be presented in this round. So we have Reed George, Roland Johnson, Lauren Kafka, Julia Keane, Kimberly Keller, Gurujeet Khalsa, Phyllis Kimmel, Leslie Landerkin, Deborah Lash, Prescott Lassman, Joe Levine, Tom Mullins, and Dale Youngkin. So please brace yourself. Remember to throw positivities into the chat. And Tom, go for it. Hey everybody, we are right back. To Reed George, we replayed Reed George's photo set because we realized that we cut off some of those photos. So apologies to Reed George, and that's why we played that at the end. So at this point, what I would love to do is turn it over. We are halfway in the bouts. I believe it's 4 bouts or 5 bouts?
4.
It is 4 bouts. So we are halfway into this. And I think this is a great time for our judges. They have pulled out a few photographs that they wanted to address briefly. And so specifically on that, I'm going to turn it to our panelists to talk about some of the photos that they wanted to comment on.
So so the pictures that we are going to comment on, they're not necessarily moving forward. We're just saying a few things about pictures that we liked, and I chose this picture because there has been a lot of demonstrations going on this year in DC, but it's not so easy to take a good picture in a demonstration. Because there's a lot going on, it's very chaotic. But in this picture, I think that there are 3 things going for it. Like the composition is very straightforward, it's very nice. I like the geometry, and there is like energy. The photographer captured a real moment that was happening, and you can see that, you can feel the energy, and the gestures are just magnificent. So I think that was a very successful picture.
All right. Do we have any more?
We just needed to. I agree with you, Sophia. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of protest photos over the last 4, 8 years, however long it's been, and I liked this story in that photo and the sort of the image looming behind them.
I think exactly what you said too, is that it's hard to get a good photo. I mean, people are not posing for your photo exactly, and you're trying to get the composition and things right. So it definitely is tough to get a good photo.
And let's pull up the next photo.
So this photo is from bout 1, and what I love about this photo is it gets right to the point. It takes you right to the subject, and then it gives you an opportunity to kind of back off and see the textures of the brick wall and see how the light is crossing over and creating these shadows. I love this tunnel effect that these leading lines are just sending you straight to getting straight to the point. So and I love the contrast of it as well. It was tough because there were so many. I was telling Sophia, I'm drawn to these high contrast black and whites, and there were definitely a few entries in there that had this that were just beautiful, sharp photos.
It's beautiful light, beautiful texture. I mean, looking down this alleyway at this figure kind of going there, you're building the story in your mind, which I think is what great photography does. It builds a story, and it's your story. It doesn't belong to anyone else. It doesn't belong to the photographer. It belongs to the person who's viewing that image. So, well done. And there's something just about the evocative nature of black and white as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
it works very well.
You don't shoot a lot of black and white though, right? You shoot a lot of your street photography is in color.
Yes, but this year, because of the pandemic, I started shooting at home and I turned completely into black and white. So, but I think that this picture, it needed black and white. The subject, and there is a little bit of fog at the end. It works really nice.
Very timeless.
There's a little touch of mystery in the image as well.
Yeah.
shall we move on to the next?
Yeah, I love this image, the vibrancy and the colors, and just the feel, the pulse of the city. It's obviously a recognizable landscape, and the colors really spoke to me, and just the way the movement that you see in the traffic and so forth. So, it's not necessarily my style of photography, but I really can appreciate that image for sure.
And that's the nice thing about this contest, is that you have to look at so many different pictures genres that you're not very familiar with, but it's some of these images are very striking.
And when we went through these photos the first time, and they were all on our computer screen, and so in this studio right now you can't tell, but we're looking at a big monitor. I don't know what that is. It's probably like a 50-something inch monitor, and it's really stunning to see them.
It is.
At that
it's not
size.
the same.
It is. This is it. It offers a lot more detail. Your eyes are going all the way to the back to see these tiny buildings in the backside. I love that orange and blue tone. It's you have appreciation once you live in a city like this about how much energy is actually happening street level in a city of that size. So, and that photo gives you that energy.
So we have some images from Bout 2, I guess, a couple images from there that we had picked as well. So Tom's going to pull those up, but. What is your style of photography, Shed?
I like to be the fly on the wall. I like to not disturb the moment. Even if I'm in the middle of the action, I'm doing it in a way where it's like I'm almost like a ninja. You didn't even know I was there. You're like, I didn't even see a photographer near me. And I also appreciate the reason for not disturbing the moment is then you get the authentic perspective of the moment as well, without breaking that fourth wall. So, so this photo, what strikes me about the entire series of these is that, when I look at these, I see the clouds rolling. I don't even see this as like a static image. My eye automatically sees these clouds in the background kind of rolling and seeing how this water is washing up on shore. And I love the way that my eye is sort of drawn towards this infinity point on the left side of the screen.
There's definitely a story in that photo as well. There's movement on the bridge there that you're wondering, where are these people headed to? I definitely love the clouds in the fog in the background. Yeah, for sure.
The next photo.
Wasn't it?
No, that was
That 2 number 5 I had listed for you. That's number 5.
Did you pick that one?
No. This is actually not one of the images we had picked, but we can make some comments on it. I like the image of the framing of the coffee putting the guy in the circle. The patterns in the background of the stripes and that add to that sort of graphic element. And then also the lighting coming off the table that you see from the bottom.
Yeah, I also like pictures are about a frame in a frame.
Frame in a frame.
So I think that's nice about this picture.
And these moments, they happen so quick. Unless you have your camera in your hand, at that moment, and you're looking out the window, it's hard to catch. Moments like that. So
and you've got that little curl of steam coming off the coffee cup, off the top of the guy's head, which I think is also a good.
It's
touch
leading
on
your
that,
eye
on
through
that
the frame all the way.
Tom, do you have the other photos? On the essence of time, we're looking at 6 photos. So should we just do 2 more of this, or?
Yeah, I think I think we can move to the next bout.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. We are going to. I want to say before we move into our next bout, We wouldn't have a photo slam without a raffle winner. So we do have a raffle prize. I know this audience just got perked up. Our raffle prize is a $150 gift certificate towards any class or workshop at Photoworks. Emily Whiting is there. Emily, do you want to give a shout out to our raffle winner? Or did I jump the button? The lens. And Emily, you're muted.
Yes, I am.
You are the raffle winner. So I'll email you later a
Emily,
gift
you're muted.
certificate.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh. We hear you. Sorry. All right. Shout out to our winner of our raffle. Thank you so much, Emily. We are going to go into bout number 3. So the photographers that we have in this bout, please snap it up for these photographers. You will see them in this order. We have bout number 3. We have these photographers: Christine Lay, Amy Lynn, Bennett Lowenthal, Chris Mills, Alan Naiman, John Pan, Smita Parida, Victoria Pickering, and Cindy Pilar. Matt Reeves, Bob Reese, Sonia Suter, and Brenda R. Hanning. So we're going to jump to bout 3. that was bout 3. Snap it up for all those phenomenal photographers from bout 3. What we're going to do before we jump to bout 4, our final bout, Tom is going to pull out one photo that one of you selected just to comment on, and then we will jump to bout 4.
So I didn't actually select this to talk about, but I'll throw in first. I mean, this whole series, they're not photos that I would do and not my style, and I would never even really know how to create them. But they were really well done, I thought, and I thought. In particular, this one, the ones with with the fairy lights. I mean, I really like them. I mean, my background is more photojournalism and documentary photography, but it's really good to be exposed to that.
Yeah, no, I agree. They were very creative and very well done. I tend to have, some issues with pictures that have been photoshopped, but I have to say that I was blown away by this series. I really liked it.
I like the softness of it. It gives like a very fairy tale quality to it. And the subject feels anonymous, but you still can connect with her. And that's what it felt like throughout the series of these. I also love the texture on this one of the door and the wood.
Excellent.
All right, we are going to snap it up for our judges. We're going to go and announce and show our photographers who are in bout 4. So, these are our amazing photographers. We have Patrick Ryan, Sarah Hood Solomon, Roshni Santila, Miriam Schneidman, Tom Slider, Denzel Spicer, Bobby Spitzberg, Jerry Succi, Shelby Swan, Carolyn Toy, Christian Whipple, Jeff Wiles, and Gregory Williams. And John Borso and Sarah, I did not forget about you. We want to come back and hear what you've been noticing from the chat. So after this bout, so without any further ado, let's go to bout 4. All right, we are back. That was bout number 4. If you want a dose of photography, you just got it. Those are 53 amazing photographers who put their passion, their lens, and their heart for you tonight on this June 6th Photo Slam. Wow, I gotta say, I'm excited. I don't know which photographer's work is going to move forward. I am palpitating on that. And I'm glad it's air conditioned, and I'm glad I have water because I might just faint with all of this incredible imagery.
I will say this, as a photographer, it's nice to see that many images at once, because it's like it's making all your brain synapses like fire, right? You're getting inspiration, you're getting moved, and now you go back to your space and you create, once you absorb these images. So that's the fun part for me.
Right. Well, I do hope all the photographers who submitted, I hope that you've got a beer or some wine or a cocktail and cheers and toast. Man. We are going to show, I believe, one image from bout 4. And what I'm going to do is talk, I'll turn it over to Sophie, who'll talk a little bit about how the audience choice is going to go. And then I will announce who our finalists are. I believe that we have 12 photographers that are moving into the final round. So Tom, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That was.
Who chose this one?
I chose that picture. I think it's. I really like pictures that show movement. I really like the energy, and I also like the fact that we don't see the head of one of them. I think it makes it more interesting. I also like the fact that the feet are not on the ground; they're just. The photographer caught it at the time that we're jumping. So it's just it's also very nice composition.
I like that you don't see the finish of the play, right? Because this moment right here is all about who got who, right? And we don't know that. And then I think the message on the shirt is also a very strong message. And these guys look athletic. They look strong. It's like a lot of explosion in this photo. So
Yeah, I think it was a really well done photo. I liked the whole set actually. I
Yeah,
liked
me
the set.
too.
There were a couple in there that I actually liked better than this one. But this is a good image. I mean, the fact that the guy's face is just sort of glued to this point off of the frame is interesting to me. Draws my eye kind of up his arm. And in the motion that you guys talked about is really nice. So.
And black and white always tells you the raw story. You know, it's not hidden behind colors and this and that. This is like all you see is the photo.
Yeah. Well done.
All right. Before we talk about audience choice and I announce the finalists, I want to turn it over to John Borstel and Sarah Gordon. We've been through 4 bouts. Any observations or anything that you felt the energy that was in the bouts? So Sarah, maybe Sarah, and then John.
Sure, yeah, it's been great to see all the comments in the chat. People are really responding to a lot of these pictures, and I think a lot of people are responding to light and color. We have people responding to sort of the evocative nature of some of the pictures, the expression, the possibility that there's a story coming through. I think some really, responses that are both aesthetic and also kind of visceral. And I think a lot of these pictures too kind of remind us of our shared experience. I think there was one Sarah Solomon photo of a tree that was clearly covered to protect it from the cicadas. And it's like, there are these things that we see now that we recognize about our lives and ourselves and what we've gone through, not just the cicadas, but other things in the past few years. And I think these photos really bring that out beautifully, and the audience is really loving them.
So thank you so much, Sarah. John, this is the first time it's, I don't know if this is hybrid or virtual or synchronous or asynchronous, but this is something. John, did you ever know that when we started this was going to be on the internet in this particular way?
Yeah, didn't anticipate that, but I knew we were cutting edge 10 years ago, and I'm not surprised that we're cutting edge again. What's standing out to me in the comments by the audience is just how supportive a community Photoworks always has been and always continues to be. There's always a sense of community when you take a Photoworks course. There's kind of free exchange between those who are teaching and those who are learning, and everybody's on a learning curve, and there's so much learning from each other, and I'm really feeling that spirit tonight. And I'm really inspired, actually, thinking back to the start of Photoworks, when we conceived of the Photo Slam, when we conceived of these five image portfolios. Really struck by how all the photographers in this competition are using that 5-image opportunity to show who they are, to show that they have a vision, and sometimes to show a unified set of images, but throw in a little surprise here or there, or select images that sort of inform each other, and one image kind of teaches you how to look at another image. So I'm really kind of grooving on the way that folks have used that 5-image opportunity here, and excited to see our next round, which will be photographers represented now by single images.
Single image, the shot of your life, right? So that's going to be exciting. I want to give a shout out to Karen Keating too. I don't know if I miss Karen or if Karen's going to speak afterwards. I know that at some point I want to give a shout out to Karen Keating. So perhaps maybe before we announce the winners, Karen, maybe I'll have you come up and speak more of Photoworks. So snap it up for Karen Keating. All right, before I announce our 12 finalists, I'm going to turn it over to Sophie. Sophie, did you want to give a little bit of guideline and instruction on how the audience vote is going to happen? Sophie.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Reggie. Hey, everybody. I'm so happy and excited to be here tonight. It's been such a lovely evening. I just wanted to tell you all about the audience vote. So once we get our 12 finalists, I will post a Google form in the chat, and everybody here will click on the chat and you will see 12 of the best photos from those 12 finalists. And everybody gets to vote once and only once. And you get to choose your favorite photo from the 12 finalists. And if you have any questions, please chat me in the group chat or chat Emily or Sarah Gordon, and we'll be happy to assist. Again, we will send out a Google form within the chat and you can choose one photo. All right, thanks everybody.
And the votes are only going to be from people who are in the Zoom room, correct? Those are the only voting folks are those that are in the Zoom room. Is that right, Sophie?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so audience, you have your job, and now I'm going to announce who our finalists are. So, drum roll. It's like photography slam idol. All right, the photographers advancing from bout 1 are Joseph Barretto, James Corbett, and David Frey. The photographers advancing from bout 2 are Reed George, Scott Lassman, and Tom Mullins. The photographers advancing from bout 3 are, I just want to get the name right. I believe it's Smita Pareda, congratulations. Matt Reeves, congratulations. Sonia Suter, congratulations. And the photographers advancing from bout 4 are Shelby Swan, Christian Whipple, and Gregory Williams. Congratulations to all of our phenomenal photographers and those that are moving forward. So, Tom, this is exciting. My palms are getting sweaty. What's going to happen is we're going to see the top 12 photographers. You're going to see them once and then a second time. So do take note, judges. What you are doing is you're consistent with your 0 to 10 scale. Please use decimal points such as 7.1, 9.2, 8.6. The judges will be sticking to their own criteria. There isn't a consultation about it. The judges' scores will be sent by photograph to Emily Whiting, who will tabulate those scores. There's just a lot of virtual hocus pocus going, and it's Mercury retrograde. So I think we're doing pretty well. So stop that. Stop it up for that. All right, so Tom, are you ready to unleash?
Yeah, ready.
And are you ready to hear that final poignant soundtrack for the last time? Dun, 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 dun. Photographers, they submitted a 6th photo from their series. So, here we go.
There we go.
All right, we are back.
You got to kill something there.
Okay, we are back. Truly blown away by those 12 images. You just can't say no to any of those images. And so the judges here have a tough call. But you, the audience, you have a voice and a choice. So what I'm going to suggest, and Sophie, let us give about, for the audience poll, it's got to close at a certain point. I see that it's 9:33 right now. Sophie, shall we give it about 3 minutes? So shall we just close the audience vote at about 9:36? Does that sound like a good plan? So by 9:36, we will close the audience poll unless there's anything funky or Mercury retrograde happening with the poll. Sophie, how's the poll looking?
Good. So far, we have about 40 responses. I would expect another 45 more, though, since there's 85 people on the Zoom. So I'll send out the audience poll another time. And I encourage everyone to make a vote.
All right. I just missed some of that. Could you repeat that again, Sophie?
I was just saying that we have 40 votes in, which is really great. And in the next 2 minutes, I hope we get another 40. And we're excited.
I have a tough choice, audience.
It's tough.
And judges, I know that they are, I could just show you, they are just trying to get their scores there. To Emily, at this point, we are tabulating. How about this? Would you all like to hear a poem? Is it poem time? Do you want something funny and silly and recent? All right. So, I'm going to kick this poem for you. It is called Spring Cut. It's for those of you who have had haircuts and have had your spring haircut. And I just want to say that this is what my hair was looking like. And shout out to Susie, like especially in this humidity, like this is what my hair looks like. So I want to thank Susie for being the hair whisperer who's like, Regie, do you really, this is what you look like with this hair?
Hey y'all, I'm tech support.
That was great. Thank you, Jason. All right, so I don't know what happened, but anyway, this is for those bad haircut days. I think we're back. All right. I don't know what's happening. This is sort of like memories of like bad public access in the 80s.
We were all about the same.
Like this is like really high tech but bad public access. I just don't know.
The boy and the pool.
The boy in the pool.
Well, anyway, it's either a you high or you low. So anyway, I'm gonna read my poem. It's called Spring Cut. I am sporting these wispy waves of black antenna that belong to an underwater crustacean. Or I look like Beaker from the Muppets. This is not how a sexy Filipino guy is supposed to get his groove back after being freshly vaccinated. I am not a figment of Jim Henson, nor am I trying to capture intelligent life cosmic signals from DuPont's circle. But I could use a Cosmo or something sultry. The Rakuya drink special is called the Laughing Geisha. And I can't decide if that's racist, Orientalist, or just bad taste. But I order 5 of them to see if it gives me any epiphanies. And let me tell you, it does not. But it does not cause me to tee-hee like a world-class concubine luring cruisy dudes tucked in their tight Lululemons. It does not give me the tee-hees, but I do pee a yellow river. What gives me comfort is that I can write these drink tabs off my taxes if I write a poem about it. My Asian hairdresser, Kenneth, cups the straggles of hair that have fallen to the floor like he's holding a cotton bird and tells me, psst, 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 Regie, this is your hair. Like I didn't know that. The salon is full of elderly queer men of every color, and everyone's dyed their hair blonde, so my black hair sticks out, Kenneth. But he still cradles my hair in his palms like he found some kitten I abandoned in the woods when I was 9. He raises my thinning hair remnants towards me, and then to the sun, and over his gilded pompadour, offering condolences as if this were the end of my happy hair days. What Beckett play am I in? I suffered a year of pandemonium, and the end of this particular tunnel looks like an off-Broadway revival of Happy Days, starring Charlotte Rae. Only it's not Charlotte Rae, it's Regie, buried to his neck in his hair. Kenneth holds my split ends in his palms like prayer to the hair strand deities. Their thick manes and maniacal guffaws, parting the coiffed, marbled skies. All right. All right. Be sure to thank Lost Origins Gallery. All right. Thank you, Lost Origins Gallery. All right. So at this point, I think the scores have gotten to Emily Whiting, correct?
Yes.
All right. So I think Emily is tabulating the judges' final scores. We are just going to turn it over to you all right now. Is this a good time for Karen Keating to come up and speak? Karen Keating, you are an incredible force at Photoworks. It's an honor to be working with you and with Emily Whiting. Again, thank you. It's an honor to be with you all. And Sophie, can we give it up? because the 10 goes to Sophie McDowell, who like a month ago was like, okay, it's going to be like this. And this was like setting the Oscars. It was a lot of conversation. It was a lot of technical things that were that were over a lot of our heads. And so we have come together at this moment. Without any further ado, let's turn it over to the incredible Karen Keating.
Thank you, Reggie. I don't feel like I need all those words. I have enjoyed what I have been able to see tonight, and I just want to reiterate what I think all of us know, that Photoworks has always been about group work. It's always been about people getting together, solving problems, backing each other up. It's not, I appreciate the nice things that you said, Reggie, but it's not ever run by one person. From the beginning days, it started as a group wanting to begin working together and being at Photoworks. It was such a cool but not very attractive place in the beginning, and it just everybody just grew, and it's still the same way. And I am so supportive of everybody tonight, that you have pulled off something that I could never have written a plan for. And I want to thank Emily and Sophie and the entire group that has just determined that they would solve how this could be done, and that Photoworks would not have 2 straight years of no slam. The response from all the photographers has been fantastic, and I just thank all of you. Photoworks is almost totally open now, and we're very excited to be back in the game, I guess. Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you so much, Karen Keating. Sophie, I'm going to give Sophie, I'm just checking in there. We have closed our audience vote, correct? And I'm wondering if you're able to tabulate. And I think, I know that Emily looks like she's doing her taxes because she is adding all these numbers. Emily, how are you doing there?
What we're going to do is David Myers is going to announce the judges' choices for third place, second place, and first place. And then Sophie at the end will announce the audience choice winner, who will join those 3 finalists in having a show in the Photoworks Gallery a year from now. So I'll turn it over to David for that.
Emily, if you would forward those finalists to Sophie as well, that would be terrific. So we are going to hear our third, our second, and our first place winners. Our judges, I don't think, can hear it, but I am just going to announce them as I hear it. So, all right. And who is announcing it again? I'm sorry, Emily. David Myers. Can we snap it up for David Myers? Go for it, David Myers. This is the moment of truth. Bronze, silver, and gold. David, are you there? Can you unmute? Can someone unmute David Myers?
I'm sorry.
Oh, David Myers. David, unmute David. I can't see.
He should be able to unmute himself.
David, can you unmute yourself? And or maybe you could put it into the chat. Third place.
He should be.
So it's going into the okay, yes. David, all right, we hear you now, David. Please announce on third place. Third. Yep.
Congratulations to everybody who presented tonight. As one person in the chat said, probably best overall set of photos for a photo slam ever. So thank you to everybody.
Best overall set of photos in a slam ever.
Okay, so third place goes to Kristen Whipple.
Kristen Whipple. Snap it up for the amazing Kristen Whipple, everyone. Wow, Kristen Whipple, you could unmute yourself. Congratulations. How does it feel, Kristen? Unmute yourself. Thank you. Kristen Whipple, everyone, congratulations. You are a bronze medalist in 2021. Congratulations. All right. Who do we have in second place?
Matt Reeves in second place.
Matt Reeves is in second place, y'all. The silver medalist, Matt Reeves. As someone said, your work was cosmic. All right. Stellar, say I. All right. And now this is the first place of 2021's Photo Slam. Who do we have, David?
Shelby Swan with that wonderful image of the young man in the water.
Shelby Swan, the young man in the water. Wow, congratulations to Shelby. By the way, I didn't give a moment for our second place. Who was our second again? Could you please unmute yourself? Matt Reeves, please unmute yourself and tell us how it feels.
Guys, thank you so
and
much.
what this experience has been like.
Thank you so much. This is my first, and I was happy to participate.
That was your first. You were a virgin, and you have been de-virginized with the silver medal on this jubilant day. All right. So now, and now let's hear from our first place winner. Please unmute yourself. Shelby Swan.
All right, so I switched phones.
Your phone had died, Shelby, but your picture gives us life. Shelby, tell us about what your secret is into getting first place.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just like a documentary style photographer. I kind of, I try and stay in that lane and stay true to that rawness and just realness of everyday life and just enjoying life. Those specific set of photos were kind of like symbolizing like Black boy joy for me. And like some of them were family members, including the little guy that won. So I got to let him know as photo like did that, even though he didn't even know I took the photo, but yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations, Shelby, and congratulations to all our fabulous winners. So Karen and Emily, I hope we do this again.
Wait a second. What about Sophie has to announce the audience choice winner?
Oh my gosh.
Winner.
Oh my gosh. All right. We have to hear who the audience choice is. So, Sophie, will you do the honors?
Yes. Drum roll. The audience choice winner is Scott Lassman. Congratulations.
All right, Scott. Congratulations, Scott. You are the photographer of the people of this Zoom room. Scott, will you please unmute yourself and tell us how it feels and how did you manage to capture the heart and the eye of the people? Scott.
It feels great, Reggie. Thanks so much. I mean, it just feels great to be part of this community, honestly. I've been part of it for 20 years and hopefully 20 more. It's just a wonderful community, wonderful folks.
All right. Well, at this point, I would just like to thank everyone here. Can we give shout out once again to Origins Gallery? I would like to turn it over to our judges. Final comments on our judges. Let's throw it back to our judges and Shout out, thank you to Sarah Gordon and to John Borstel, to the Photoworks community, to our incredible board of Focus on the Story as well, and to all of our fabulous funders who made it all happen. Judges, final words.
I thought that the pictures were amazing, all of them. It was very hard to score them because I had a lot of favorites. So great work. I mean, they were definitely the best shots.
Yeah, I will agree with you wholeheartedly that there were some amazing shots in there. And I'll say this about Shelby's winner. You know what? And that was one of my favorite shots, and it was just this tenderness of that was there, this vulnerability in that photo that really kind of drew me to it, and sort of hit the trust that you kind of saw in that boy's face as well. So.
It sort of reminded me of like a baptism, the way it was composed. But yeah, great photo.
Great, and shout out to Photoworks. It's an amazing contest. With the great entries, and I really appreciate being asked to judge.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say the events that Glen Echo and Lost Origins and Focus on the Story are doing are really just getting everything jump started for the community, and I'm excited.
Community here, right?
All right. Well, you have witnessed it. This is the 2021 Photoworks Slam. Shout out to Focus on the Story. Thank you so much, Jason Hamaker, for inviting us here in this beautiful space. Do check it out. Their next show is opening in July.
No, next week.
Next week, oh my word. Check it out next week.
Can I grab your love?
Yes. And I'm going to close it and have a great night. I'm going to have several drinks.
Can you guys hear me? Is this on? I just wanted to really, so the entire evening, Reggie has been sitting here. This photo here is the singer for the legendary punk group, the Circle Jerks, that just had their 40th anniversary, and it's amazing that we've been hosting it right in front of my man Keith Morris. So just wanted to make sure that was in there. Thanks for partying.